Hello, welcome to Make It Make Sense with Auntie. Of course, I am Auntie, and we are joined today by, as you know, Show Out. How you doing today, Show Out?
I'm over here doing good as usual. How you doing?
I am good. I am excited about tonight's show. If you are been paying attention, you all asked for it. So tonight we are going to discuss our youth and our young adult in the workplace, especially with everything that's going on right now. So we need our youth and our young adults to be effective in the workplace. It is time. With a lot of things changing in the school systems, a lot of things changing in the world with everything going on, we need to be very, very mindful of our jobs, reasons in jobs, family members. I got some parts of the segment that's dedicated towards you when we discuss this tonight, but this is a show that's dedicated out to our youth and young adults. So if you are a parent or uncle or auntie, if you are effective in the youth, if you have children that are old enough to start working, about to start working, if you are working, if you are a youth, if you are a young adult and you are working in the workplace, this is dedicated to you all. This is to some of you old people too. But this is dedicated to you all. As you all know, I have been working in the management for years, but I've been in school, a lot of different things, but we are going to address some of the issues that I see, that I have spoken to other managers, other people that work in, HR positions in different fields across the board, whether it's from fast food over to, big Fortune 500 companies, some of the stuff that we discussed, that things that they see that happen in the workplace. So we are going to address some of those issues tonight. Before we get started, Show Out, what do you have going on?
Well, right now I'm on uncle duty with my little niece. But other than that, I've been working on trying to get these shirts and stuff ready for these holidays. Y'all, like I said, don't forget that we got the graduation rollout coming up. We got the Easter rollout coming up. Y'all know Valentine's Day. Y'all better get it. Y'all better holler at us again. I know a lot of people trying to get the last little minute um, Valentine's gift. Y'all better holler at us because we got you. We know how to put it together real quick for you. So holler at us and also y'all don't forget about I'm still looking and trying to find a nice good venue as well as put a team together for this producers boot camp 101. So anybody that knows, a good venue or would like for us, once I get this team together, for us to come to your city, we'll be willing and much enthused to come to your city and bring that same experience to your city. That is the Producers Bootcamp 101 by Smooth Transitions Media Group. Holla at me.
All right, Mr. Smooth. So y'all hear that? That's coming soon. We are doing. There will be a lot of things that we have going on that I'm putting together as well over at Make It Make Sense with Auntie and our youth and mentoring program as well. We are looking for a location. I know I did. I did have a couple of people reach out to me that have some places in Tampa, so I'm going to look into those to see what we have going on, because I'm saying, and it doesn't have to just be one venue. If we can get this maybe into a couple different venues, so we get a couple different venues promoted, we advertise. What I'm saying, it's not about competing, it's about everybody being able to eat. That's how I feel. Like everybody, people live in different areas, so maybe somebody can't reach in one area. So if we can find different places to hold these different services that I'm offering, I am more than welcome and more than open to that ideal as well. So we are going to get started tonight. And like I told y'all, before we start on the youth, last week we were having a conversation. We discussed, the young lady, Drea. And I guess because the post, the information was just coming out, we did get some responses that day, but that post has continued to warrant and get more and more responses. So I am going to go back and I'm going to address that post. I'm not sure if you all are aware, but we were discussing, if you are single until you're married, unless you have it in writing. That was, that's pretty much what the topic was. If you are in a relationship, and it's sad to say that we are in a space where materialistic things, anything, if you want something, you need to have it in writing. If something was to happen, regardless of how many years you've been dedicated to a person, it is so easy for somebody else to step in and say you have no rights. Um, no rights. So we last week, I did. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Last week I did post. What is it? Let me find the post. We did post about Drea. Oh, and we are going to address the Black History. We are going to do that too. So we are going to get into the Black History questions, the trivia. We are on the Making Make Sense with Aunti page. I know it's been shared amongst a few pages. It's been shared amongst pages, but we are going to. I will announce the answers tonight. I do have some surprises to give out for those answers to those questions. But to go back to the original, what was it with the dress store? So I continued to get more responses, and it was, where is it go? That's what happened when you get a whole bunch of responses to something, and then the algorithm go to switching up. People switch up your algorithms all the time. I'm just gonna say that. Where is this post at? I'm gonna find it, but we're gonna get to that. But while we waiting and I'm trying to find that post, I will go ahead and we can answer some of the questions that were asked that I did for the Black History. I don't know, show out. Did you try to answer any other questions for the Black History trivia? Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. No, you ain't try. All right, so we're gonna go to the Black History questions. Let me go back because because the questions were asked. So it was multiple questions that were asked. So I am going to answer all of the questions. There's no specific order that they were released because they were released. Let me see. Maybe I can go back to see how I did answer them out, so we can see maybe if that'll make it easier to answer, because I did get a lot of responses, and I was very very excited. I'm not gonna lie, I was excited at how many people actually took time to respond. Right. Yeah. So that people actually took the time out to respond. So if you were on the pages, if you was on the YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, we shared some Black History trivia questions for 2025. Some people said that some of the questions was very, very easy. Other people, whatever. But is it something that you need to know, that you will know if they take it from a book? Hey, listen, you can say that Auntie still helped that because it's some history that you can go back and read up on, that you can go and discover yourself. Like I said, with so much going on in the world, it's time that we educate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's time that we educate our family. It's time that we educate our children. We don't let anybody take their history from them. We don't let anybody take anything from them. You know what I'm saying? That's given to them. And I know it was told to me that education was the one thing can't nobody ever take from you, because once you know it, you know it. And we want to make sure that we know it. We know, and we salute those that are out there that contribute to the history. Everybody is making history every day, and something that you do. Continue to make history and continue to give us a reason to talk about it. If you know of anybody, you know what I'm saying, if there's something about Black history that you want Auntie to talk about, if you have a significant person that was in your life, or a story or something that you want to tell, this is the month. Y'all let me know. Reach out to me. We will get you out here on the show. I don't care where you contacted me from. If you want to get on the show for Black History Month, if you would like to be a part of the show, reach out to me at makeitmakesense.com. You can reach me through the Make It Make Sense with Auntie group. You can reach me at Auntie_Mims on YouTube. You can contact DC at the station, let him know that you want to be a part of the show so we can get you on the show. We would love to hear the Black history stories, because trust me, I have heard so many stories from so many people. I wish that I could write a book and put everything in the that I've learned from people with a lot of stuff that's happened over the years. So you, like I said again, education is something you can never take away from you. If you know what happened, if you was there, if you was a part of it, if you heard the stories and you seen it, you know where conspiracy started. But anyways, let's go ahead and go to Black history. So we began the Black history. One of the questions that was asked was who was the African queen who led a, I don't know why I ain't sending these to DC. But I posted them in the group. So if you're a part of the group, you can go and ask them. Who was the African queen who led a rebellion against the Roman Empire? Your options was Cleopatra, Nefertiti, Queen Amanarinas. I think that I pray I'm saying that right. Or Queen Njinga. I think that's what I'm saying that's correctly. So that was the first question. Who was the African queen who led a rebellion against the Roman Empire? And our answer to that question was, let's find who. See, and I got it's all every answers everywhere. Let's see. Okay. The answer was, I'm pretty sure that's not the answer. Okay, the answer was C, Queen Amanarinas. So I'm gonna go into more detail. You will be able to go on the page and find information on her. That was the purpose of this trivia, was for us to be able to find out, learn some details about someone that maybe we did know, maybe that we did not know. If you do not know, you will be able to go over to the page and you will find some links and some information that you will be able to go over and find some information on the African queen who led the rebellion against the Roman Empire. So for everybody that got that answer correct, and I do know there was a few people that got that answer correct in a couple of the different groups. I'm like I said, my tablet went out, so I'm having to use my phone. And of course, y'all know how phones work. It's being real slow. But so that was the first answer. So we will go back in detail, and I will call out a couple of people who did get some of these answers right. Because again, like I said, I was amazed. One of the other questions, the Black history trivia question, was ancient civilizations. Which ancient African civilization was known for its powerful kingdom and trade networks? The options were Egypt, Nubia, Axum, and Mali. And the answer to that one was B, Nubia. So if you answered B, Nubia, you were correct. And I am so excited. Like I say, I learned a lot during this trivia, and there were a couple people that was like on the money. As soon as I posted them, they knew the answers, whether you looked it up or you already knew it. Shout out to you, because you are part of education, and you are a part of the reason why it is so important that we pass this information down to our youth and our young adults. The next question today was who was the African American abolitionist who led the Underground Railroad? Our options was A, Harriet Tubman, B, Frederick Douglass, C, Sojourner Truth, or D, John Brown. Again, we had a big selection of people that poured out with the answers. I'm telling y'all, if I can get my phone to move as fast as it should be doing, then we would have everybody's responses. But the answer to that question was A, Harriet Tubman. Of course, I know a lot of people know. If you don't know, you go and educate yourself on Miss Harriet Tubman, who helped free and lead us on the Underground Railroad. Go and find out what the Underground Railroad is. I remember being a child when I first remember being introduced to Harriet Tubman and them telling me the Underground Railroad. All I could picture was a train that ran underground. Until I figured out that was bits and pieces of what really happened and how it went on back then. You all have to go and read up on Harriet Tubman. It is best. I'm just telling you, educate yourself, let them know. Our next question was, which civil rights organization was founded by W.E.B. Du Bois in 1909? Do you know that one, Mr. Show at? No, you ain't go. Oh, I forgot. He can't. He can't talk. He can't get on here. We're gonna see when he come back on. But for everyone, as we know, that it is the infamous NAACP. So if you answer any of those questions correctly, shout out to you. I will be going back onto the post, and I will be contacting a few people that played along with me to send out a couple of t-shirts from the Make It Make Sense with Aunti show in support of Black History Month. We truly appreciate each and every one of you that tunes in every Thursday at 5 p.m. I am so excited for those that tune in. If you have children, if you have youth, if you have young adult, if you know of them, if you work with them, if you are an employer, this show is for you. This show is for to benefit each and every one that works in the workplace. So we are going to address tonight youth and young adults entering into the workplace. Like I told you, I work in management, so I work with youth and young adult all along, all the time. It's so many, different programs. I worked in school systems. I worked in group homes. I worked across the board. So working with youth and young adults is getting to know the youth and the young adults. So you have to pretty much know them on their levels. And going into the workforce, it is, it's already a big step. It's a proud moment for them. It's a proud moment for family. It is something, that they should take serious. And I believe that, we should mirror to our youth and young adult how we should act in the workplace. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of instances of youth and young adult. We addressed some of these issues last week, or not even issues. We addressed some of these topics last week. But we were, I told you all we were going to get more into it. So this week, working in going to work. So we're just going to, before we even get into the workplace, we're going to address some of those issues and some things that happen that can affect when we get ready to prepare our youth and prepare our young adults for the workplace. And some of the things that I came up with, along with, speaking to some other people, the ways that a person's job can be hindered, and it's the pros and the cons when it comes to family and friends. And one of them, it gave us 5. And so one of them was the unrealistic expectations. And parents, family, and friends may have unrealistic expectations about the person's job, about the salary, about the career advancement. And what that means is sometimes we forget that when we have our youth and young adult and we're sending them into a workplace, or when they're entering into anywhere, that because they have a certain job, they have a certain level of entitlement, and sometimes that puts them in a very awkward position, which can lead to a level of different things. It could lead to termination. It just leads to so much stuff. It could lead to write-ups, or it could lead to something that is positive for whatever, if that is what happens. But like I said, sometimes we do make these real unrealistic judgments when it comes to our children. And we forget that once they leave from home with you and they enter into a workspace, it is a whole different level of expectation that falls upon their shoulders. And I'm a mother, so I can't say how my child responds when she works, or my son or my grandkids. I can't speak for how they work in the workplace unless I'm there with them, seeing them in the workplace. I can't tell a person how a person is going to respond in the workplace, because I know me, myself, as an adult, there are certain situations that may cause me to react different ways. And when it comes to a child or someone that is younger, a minor, when it comes to that, we have to remember that it is, and that is so. This is a young person that is taking an initiative or a step to move into a more an adult role. So we still have to remember that yes, they are young. However, we also they have to understand and take accountability for now. We are taking on more of a larger role that's playing in scope than what we have going on in our life. And I see it happen a lot that parents don't understand. You can hinder your kids so much at work. It's already limiting because, as a minor, the whole focus is on education, making sure they go to school, making sure, they have those requirements met. So that is, that's why they have the child labor laws in effect. That the child needs to be accommodated, or the youth or the minor needs to be accommodated. Now, we have parents that take advantage. We have youth that take advantage of certain situations because parents don't set boundaries, and sometimes the youth don't set boundaries. Me, myself, personally, like I told you, I have had many stories. I can tell many stories of situations where parents and the youth themselves both take advantage of that policy when they know that a youth is entering into the workplace. So there's only certain things that can be done. Now, I've also seen certain companies and businesses take advantage of those policies and not follow the child labor laws like they're supposed to, which is big. So I don't even play like that because I don't play with the government. I don't play when it comes to kids and all the minor laws and all that stuff. That's why I don't have a problem with educating, youth parents. I have many parents that reach out to me, about their children or about their kids working with me or for me because they already know I'm not going to play with them. I'm going to look out for them. That's why I did start the youth and young adult program, employability skills program, was because of the outpouring of parents that I had reached out to me that wanted me to either train their children on how they should act, when they do enter into a workplace. I have conversations many times, and I've seen it across the board for many years, that some of the same situations occur in the same age groups. And, whether it's from the cell phones, and that's the parents calling the cell phones, the friends calling the cell phones, the social media. I try not to have my phone at work because I do realize it is a bad habit for people. So I'm a person that lose their phone all the time at work, which is probably not a good thing when you're the manager. But of course, we got a still phone. But I'll put my phone down because I don't want them to, have that habit of always having their phone in the face. And that is a problem. When you parents, we need to learn how to set boundaries and treat our children. If they go out and get a job, we need to treat their job as important as you expect them or someone to treat yours. Because even though they're young, and I know some people get the mentality, because I was one that had this mentality. Oh, child, this is just a job at McDonald's. This is just a job at Burger King. This is just a job at such and such. This is just this here. Oh, I'm just flipping burgers. I'm just doing this. And you don't look at the lasting effect that could have on your record. Because you never know who may work from one place to the next, and then not even about avoiding, about what is it, not crossing any laws or barriers, but work habits, work ethics are passed on. And even word of mouth, you may not get a job just based on managers talking. Even if you may work for one company, and a lot of people don't understand is that there's a lot of bridge companies. So, and what a bridge company is, that you may go into a Chick-fil-A, but that Chick-fil-A's bridge company owns the Taco Bell, the Burger King, the Long John Silver's. They own a whole wide variety of jobs. So when you go in there and you go act up at this one particular job, and you think that, oh, I'm going to get fired, or I'm going to quit, or it's not going to matter, they're not going to know, I'm not going to put it on the application, and then you go and do an application for a job, and then what happens? They tell you, oh, no, you're not hired. And you like, oh, but I know I had this information. They told me this all I needed. You know what I'm saying? And then it finds out that, guess what? You worked for them before. You didn't know you was working for them before. That's why they always tell you, do what's right even when nobody's looking, because you never know who may know somebody, who may work for somebody. You never know. And I myself, again, it took me years to learn that and grasp that. That's why I'm able to come back and tell you all this, because I was one. I can tell you, I promise you, when I was, by the time I was maybe 27, 28 years old, I had about 25 jobs in my life. That's keeping it 100. I had literally had about that many jobs in my life. Why? Because I would cuss you out. I would walk out. I would not come to work. I would do what I want to. I would just quit a job if I felt like it. But times were so much different now then. than they are now. And so now that I've gotten older, and now that I work in the workplace, and now that I see what goes on in the workplace, and now I see how it's set up and how the things that affect them, I want to, and it's for my children, my youth. And when I say my youth and my children, I'm not just talking about mine. I'm talking about all the aunties, babies that's out there. And you all know that you are all the aunties, babies. When I go into a workplace, if I go into a store, wherever I go, if I introduce myself to you, they're going to tell you my name is Auntie. That's who I am. My name is Auntie. If you look me up on YouTube, it's Auntie _MIMS. Auntie Mims. Auntie, make it make sense, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to always tell you to make it make sense. I don't care what the situation is. I can't tell you why to make a decision, but I understand I can just tell you to make it make sense. And I'm telling you, if you want your child to go out there and be effective, if you expect your child to learn how to pay bills, and you expect this child to pay bills for you, that's why we're going to address some of these parent issues and the youth to make it make sense. Because we have so many parents that want to send the child to work, and we got to tell them, oh, you got to pay bills, you got to do this, but we don't want to teach them how they're going to do that. We don't want to show them that when they go to work, they have to treat their job important. They don't have to, this job is, nobody at a job has to treat your child. You know what I'm saying? We have to treat your child as a child. Period. I work for a lot of companies now that no longer even want to pretty much hire minors, and they have the right to do that because of the issues with the parents. You have, like I say, when you send your child to a workspace, you need to teach your child what they do in your household does not guarantee or warrant they're going to be able to do that when they get into the workplace. I spend a lot of time talking to young men. I have a couple of women, young females, young ladies that work with me. And that work with me across the board. As I think about it, I work with a few females, but the majority of the jobs that I see working in the workplace, now that I think about it, it's been majority men, young men. So I do get the opportunity to talk to our young men. So I do get to have the opportunity to have some crazy conversations sometimes with them, you know what I'm saying, young men that have questions, real deal questions that they want answers to, and they can't really go talk to their mama or their auntie or that's whoever, so they feel judged, so they may ask me a question or so. And so, I answer that to let them know you have to be able to make it make sense in life when it comes to your family and your friends. Family, and I'm gonna say this: if you family it can be the worst. Friendships can be the worst. But anybody that wants to see that you be productive, anybody that want to see you win, it will never do anything that is going to hinder that. They're not going to set you up and put you in a position that they're going to hinder what you have going on if they want to see you be productive. I see it all the time. Parents, you'll have your child will go and get a job, and then when you get mad, the first thing you tell them is you can't go to work. Like, what is that teaching them? I understand if their grades and stuff starts to fall, but even when it comes to their grades and stuff falling, that's not a time to tell them that they need to quit their job. That's a time when they need to, you need to figure out what's going on with them. And maybe then once you sit down with them and discuss what's happening, then you may tell them that, because again, a lot of parents don't take into consideration how their life situations affect their children, how it affects those around them. You have children that come to work every day thinking they have to go in, or maybe not even thinking, knowing that they have to be responsible for the bills or helping you. They have to help maintain the bills. And as we see every single day, bills are continuing to go up and up and up and up. It is, it's insane how busy, how that happens. So if you want your child to be productive, and I'm telling you, you need to sign up. I have parents that's reaching out to sign up. If you sign up for the class, I am 100. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am going to tell the truth. I will let you know the do's and the don'ts. I will tell you the truth. When your child goes into a workplace, parents, make them be responsible for what they have going on. If that is their responsibility, let them do that. But do not be the hindrance. Do not teach them the negative and the bad. You know what I'm saying? Don't teach them. Don't set them up. Don't be calling out for them because they don't feel like going to work, because you can call out for them because what the parent says goes when it comes to a minor working. That goes also, but That's not saying that a parent shouldn't be involved in what is going on in the workspace when they do have minors. I'm just going, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say that. If you have a minor that is working, if you have a minor that, because I remember when my daughter was working and she was under 18, she was almost grown, but she was under 18. And I still remember, like, I'm involved in that because if somebody hurt or do something to my child at work, I need to know what's going on at her workplace. Am I going to be calling in for her? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Am I finna be playing on the phone when I know she at work, texting her? I don't do that now. I can tell you just recently, a couple weeks ago, I had texted her, did not know she had started a new job. She was in the daytime. She literally responded and she was like, Mom, I'm at work. I called her. That's what it was. I called her and she was at work. And I hung up immediately and texted her my response that I apologize. By no means would I ever affect her income or her livelihood for the way to make it for her and her family. And that's what I need parents to understand, friends to understand. If that's your friend, if you want your friend to be able to go and hang out with you, if you want your friend to be able to come, I tell them, and I've told many before, if you are my friend, you will not do anything that is going to make me lose money, that is going to make me lose. Not if you my friend. If you my friend, if we in the workplace and we become friends in the workplace, because I don't go to work to be friends with anybody. However, if we become acquaintances, that is perfectly fine. Excuse me. So I don't enter into a workplace to become friends with you. However, I can be cordial with you. We can talk. We can do all of that good stuff. But I need you to understand that if it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I will never allow you to be the reason that my job is affected because you don't do what you're supposed to. Like that will never be this that will never be it. That'll never be it. And it's at this space where we need to teach our children when we go into a workspace because this carries on into their work ethic. You know, it might just be a job to you at the moment, but that carries on into the work ethic that this child will have or this young adult will have as they get older. Some conversations when I have, you just tell them, make it make sense. If they want to be able to do something, then you have to be able to, assist them, show them, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. When your child say they want to go out and go get a job, and I love my dad. I ain't even gonna lie. I remember when my sister and brother was going to get their jobs. That's his first thing. He be on it to go help them set up bank accounts. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they got all that information. That's what we need to be doing, and we need to be teaching our children. This is what it is. This is what it is. This be effective in their life. Set up a bank account. Make sure they're doing. Make sure they're being effective. Go out and do those things because that's what they need to be taught. And you see, everything is going on. They need to be sufficient on themselves. They need to be able to stand up on their own. Walking out on the job, getting mad at a job when somebody tell them something that they're supposed to do. And I tell, I've said it so many times, so I just think it's funny. And I tell them, like I got one employee, I'll say, I told you. Because it is. Because I already said them, make it make sense. If you get up to go to a job, make it make sense. Why would you get up to go to a job, to play, to go to a job to get in trouble? Why would you go through it to sign an application, fill out all that, read all the rules that they done told you that you have to abide by, sign all these forms, documentation that you're going to do this stuff, then go into a workplace and get mad because somebody get on you for doing the stuff that they've already addressed to you previously? It's not like these companies are reaching out to you, and maybe some of them are, reaching out to you, telling you, we want you to be a part of this, what I'm saying, that this is the job, we want you, we have to have you, this is what's happening. I don't see that happening too many times, but I know it does happen, but that's not what's happening. And I tell them, employees, all the time, a job, when you come into a job and them telling you what you're supposed to do and you done signed the paperwork, all the extra stuff about what you got going on, they don't care. Let's keep it 100. You are replaceable. And I mean, it's true. You have some employers that value their employees, but you have to remember, again, it is not their place to baby you. It's their place to pay you for doing the job that you were hired to do, the job that you applied to do. Not the job to come in to babysit you, not the job to come in when you don't feel like being at work because you don't hung out. Not, that's not what it is in the workspace. And I think that we need to take that more seriously. Is that when we telling our children, oh, you need to go get a job, you need to pay your own bills. Yes, if that is what's going on, and I've said it before on my show, then make it be where they can go to work. That if they are working in fast food places, that you're not going to the job asking for free food. If they working in these retail stores, you're not going in there walking through the line when you know they on shift. You're not walking in the store asking them for a discount at the counter or expecting them to give you a discount because now they have a new job in a retail company. Those are the things that family members, they think, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, oh, so they get a discount. That's good. But why do you have to utilize their discount every single time that you go in the store? Because you know that they work in the store. If they wasn't at work, you was gonna go buy it anyway. Stop expecting discounts and stop putting these children in positions where they have to make a decision between their family and their job if you want them to be productive in the workforce. I told them some parents, some people wasn't gonna like me, and I was gonna say what I'm gonna say what it is. It goes across the board. When we are teaching our youth and our young adults about being effective in the workplace, we need to be able to talk to them and tell them, listen, when you go to work, I understand it. You want to go to work. You have, this is what you're trying to learn. We do remember that you are still young. Your mind is not there. You're not all the way there yet. You haven't made it there yet. But we are preparing you. We are setting you up for that. So those are the kind of conversations that I do have with employees. I do have with youth and young adults. I might have to see a youth and young adult on the street. And I've had plenty of conversations with them where they'll tell me, oh, you know what I'm saying? I just went to this such and such job. And my mama told me I ain't got to be working with nobody that's going to treat me like this. If I go in there, they mad at me because you ain't have what? I ain't have my belt on. Did they tell you that you needed to have your belt on? Yeah, it's a part of my uniform. Okay. Well, my mama said, did your mama work for the company? No, but my mama told me, does your mama work for the company? Absolutely not. Your mama can't tell you nothing. Parents, stop telling them what they can do on the people's jobs. Stop telling people what they need to accept when you send your child to a workspace, because no, they don't have to accept anything from your child. They don't. And I'm telling parents, you need to learn the laws and the rules when you sending your children to these workplaces. But you also need to understand that you can be a hindrance to your child. You can be a hindrance to the youth, or you can be a hindrance to whoever. And it's not just the youth. You could be a hindrance to a person's job just because a person don't know how to tell you no, or not, or may not be in a position to tell you no, because you are the authoritative figure that's in that person's life, in that child's life. So I'm going to go over to my next point, which is over involvement. And that is the parent that feels like they can call and run the job. That is absolutely not. We're not going to do that one either. The over involvement, and that's the too involved in the person's job, offering unsolicited advice, like I was just talking about, trying to take control of decisions, telling people what they can and can't do. We can only make so many, they have to only make certain accommodations when it comes to it. But pretty much a person will just let your child go because it's more of a bother to have to deal with what you got going on. How you doing? What's up, brother? Then it says the lack of boundaries, and that's again what we talked about. So if you notice, it's repetition of what they're telling you of what's going on in the workplace, how these youth, how it's being affected in the workplace. So it's the lack of boundaries. They may not respect the person's boundaries, calling or texting excessively during the work hours. For what? For what? Negative influence. They may have a negative attitude toward the person's job or industry, which can affect their motivation and confidence. And that's another thing. I see that too. Oh, you work so and so, but you working. Don't let nobody put you down for setting stepping stones to get where you're trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Because before you get into a rock, it's going to be some sand, it's going to be some water, it's going to be some mixing up some stuff. It got to harden up. It got to go through a whole process. Even if you look at a diamond, you know what I'm saying? That go through a whole process, and it's a delicate, it's a strenuous process, but you got to go through something, and sometimes you have to take those baby steps. So regardless of where you start out at, that's not the problem, is where you finish. So if you start off at McDonald's or you start off Burger King or some of these restaurants, I'm going to tell you, some of these big Fortune 500 companies, and I've studied it, I've seen it, I've read it. A lot of these Fortune 500 companies will look at your application and look for a lot of these companies that you think are beneath you, these McDonald's and these Burger Kings and these Jack in the Box, these restaurants that you go in and you have these strenuous training programs, because a lot of these jobs have a strenuous training program. I talk about it all the time. With me working for the company I work for, I got 54 trainings that I'm signed up for. That's online virtual trainings that I have to go in and I have to finish, um that I have to get completed with an ongoing process of training. So it's always ongoing, it's never stopping. And that's why, it starts with the school program and the school system, which, Lord, we're gonna pray for the school system with everything that's going on right now. But and that's another reason why we need to be so on, if we need another income in the household, make sure that you are being effective for that income to come into the household. And then the other part is dependence on financial support, and they may be too dependent on the person's financial support, which can create stress and pressure. And that's another thing. I know we have parents that, your child go to work and you see them as your income. If that's the way it was set up, if that's the way y'all discussed it, which it's crazy sometimes that I see parents take their child's whole paycheck after they don't work, or tell them what they can and can't do. I feel that you should set up, what I'm saying, if it's necessary, if y'all going through financial issues and that's what the child taking on, or the young adult taking on, which even still a youth or young adult having to take on that responsibility to help, it's kind of because that's not the child responsibility, but we do understand why it is necessary in some households. So we're never going to knock any of that that's going on. But sometimes it becomes a burden to the child because they're working, and literally they're working for nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't get to see anything of it. Somebody's dictating where their paycheck go. They don't get to spend it, and that's sad. That's slavery. We get mad at people about slavery, but that's exactly what that is. So we have to make it make sense. And that's why I tell you all the time, you have to make stuff make sense when you think about certain situations and being in certain situations. You have to, it just can't flip flop because you feel like, oh, nah, that's right for me. We see it all the time, and we don't want to that to be an issue. I see we running down here. Okay. But we are going to discuss some of the pros of having family and friend support as well. You will be able to get all of this information if you all show up, and I am going to do a virtual course on this, so you will be able to get all the handouts, all the information. You will be able to get the one-on-one with Auntie. You will get, you'll get that whole experience. So we will be advertising that coming up, because that will be in, what I said, April. I think I said the date for one we're gonna do is in April for the big one. But the pros are emotional support. But you will be able to get this off of the page as well. I will be uploading some mini ebooks coming up soon, so y'all stay tuned for those. But the pros are emotional support, networking opportunities, practical help, celebrating successes, providing a safety net. And parents, family, and friends can provide emotional support, encouragement. They can boost the person's confidence and motivation. So yes, be confident, be you know what I'm saying? Be supportive of them. Let them know that you're happy that they're working, that you support what they have going on, that, whatever it is they're working for, the initiative. Be a motivation. The network opportunities, they may have connections in the industry or job markets, which can lead to valuable network opportunities. Then you never know who you may meet in the workforce. Even as young adults, you could be at work and just somebody walking into your job and seeing you could, open up so many opportunities that, that land you somewhere else, or just somebody see you with the work ethic that's like, wow. It's a young man. I talk to him all the time. I'm trying to get him. He is in school and he works full time. He is this young man is 18 years old, and he is a shift supervisor manager. This man's work ethic is, it's diabolical. It's insane. And this young man is, like I said, I'm trying to get him whenever he is able to be able to get on, because he work a lot too. So he work a lot, he go to school. And like I said, he's 18 years old, and this man's work ethic, and he's a very intelligent young man, so he get good grades in school. He works stupid, stupid hours, but he grown. But I want to get him to be a part of the workshop that we do, because I want them to see the individual of what it takes and what you can become at a young age. You know, you let people tell you all the time, you hear them talk about and complain about certain things and about their jobs and when they go and work certain places. But I met this young man, and like I said, he 18 years old. This young man's work ethic outweighs so many adults that I've worked with, so many people that I've worked with. The way this man work is crazy, and so I am trying to get him to be a part of the youth workshop that we do have coming up. He is getting ready to graduate this year, so we are going to do something for him from the Make It Make Sense with Aunti family. He has been a huge support system for Aunti in the last few months, and I am very excited. So I did talk to him, and I told him we're gonna do something for him to show him that we see him, like we see his support, we see how he is in the workplace, how he works with others, how he's always willing to help others, and that's what we need to be teaching them. That, you know, when they go into these work job, these places, it's not about where they work at; it's about their work ethic. So if they go into a workspace, regardless, like I told somebody, if you go in there and make for I had a young lady one time, and she was like, I don't want to be in here doing no fries, because y'all know I don't work at pretty much all of the fast food restaurants. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I love working in those types of environments. I do get stressed out, but I do like being able to be around impressionable youth, to be able to work with them, to be able to teach them so they learn this stuff before they get into other places, just to know, you know, to develop those types of relationships, to see how youth and how people work together. You know, you look at those relationships, how they have with certain people that they work in the workplace. But I had a girl tell me, you know, she didn't want to be doing no fries. She can't do no fries, all this, that, and the other. What I look like, baby, listen. Go in there and salt them fries, shake them fries, do whatever you got to do. Serve the best fry that you can serve to somebody. Because you never know who you serving that fry to. You know what I'm saying? You never know. I've had job offers in jobs. I've had many job offers. I've been working in places, and you know, like I tell people, a lot of people that know me, some of the people that know me in my ghetto stage, my ghetto era, my whatever, they know me. But and you know, the ones that know me, my profession, they know me. But if you meet me and you know me in the workspace, or if you know me from wherever, they're gonna always tell you that that person never changed. I'm a very professional person. I love the customer. Whenever I go into a workspace, like I tell you, I go into a workspace, I love seeing somebody smile, especially if it's a service that I'm providing for them. So if I go in there and I know I'm providing customer service to them, regardless of the way I work it, and I don't work at some of all types of jobs all across the board. And they gonna all say the same thing. I'm always smiling. I'm always trying to help them. I'm gonna make sure it's good. That's customer service. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? That's the person that I am. So if you meet me and you see me, then that's who I am. But we can't, you know what I'm saying? We send our children into these workplaces and we expect people to just accept certain behaviors that they have. And next week we are going to address, you know what I'm saying, the behaviors that a lot of people, we see them on social media. We see all the videos, the fighting, the arguing, all the stuff that goes on when you are in a workspace. And I know we do see those parts a lot, and it does happen in the workspace. But there is a lot of disrespect that goes into a workspace because people look at young adults as, oh, that's a child or that's a minor, so we're gonna be disrespectful because I'm an adult, and the customer is always right. So next week we are going to address that. Like, we're gonna talk about when you go into a work, into these youth and young adults, and you go into their workspace, and then you go in there, and the disrespect that we expect them to accept. You know what I'm saying? And that's it's unrealistic. Like, it truly is unrealistic, and we don't never want to put them in the position. That we also need to remember that it's professionalism, and it goes across the board. It goes around the board. For your children, you want your child to be safe when they're going into a workspace, so you need to teach them how to communicate effectively in a workspace, because everybody don't accept what you may accept. Everybody don't allow what you may allow, and that goes both ways across the board. I don't allow disrespect. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to me or an employee, but you shouldn't. And I'm talking about that's from an employee or from a consumer, from a customer. You know, any of that. I'm not going for the disrespect. I don't care who you is. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who your mom is. I don't care who your daddy is. I'm one of those managers. I'm truly one of those managers, and I'm here to tell you, like, it's no disrespect to a child. I'm not disrespectful to a child, but I will put your child in your child's place, whether that's in there, and that's what across the board from a child, youth, young adult to an adult. If you disrespectful, I'm going, and it's not being a disrespectful manner, but I am going to let you know. So when you send your child into certain places, you have to understand that there are certain people out there that do not play with your child. I expect you to do and abide by the rules. I'm not going to ask you to do no more. I'm not going to tell you to do no less. But I am going to tell you what's right and what's wrong. I am going to tell you what's going to make you productive. That's why I have so many parents that reach out to me years later, 20, 30 years later. I have parents that used to work for me that now have children that, that have kids now. They want to know where you working at so they can send their kids to come work for me. And because I'm not in that position to be hiring and stuff like that, because that is not what Auntie wants. Auntie got a lot going on in her life. So I will teach the employability training classes. Like, I will offer those courses. I will teach them the same way if they was to come in and work for me, so that when they do go out and work in the workforce, they do know how to work. They do know how to be effective. They know how to save money. They know how to set boundaries. They know how to go in there and follow directions. They know how to move up in the ladder. You know what I'm saying? At a young age. They know how to be 18 years old and be working to be a manager. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of them don't think about. You can be young and get your foot in and start setting the stones then. And as you keep moving up, you can be 15, 16 years old, but go be in there 15, 16 years old and act like you got some sense. Go in there and act like you want the job. Yes, you might be on them fries right now, but you could get a raise. Somebody could be watching what you're doing and they could move you up to the next level. You know what? Let me go ahead and train them over here. You turn 17, 18 years old, you still, that age you in high school. You in high school, getting ready to go college, whatever it is that you're doing, you're effective at your job. You're doing what you're supposed to at your job. So somebody taking note of what you're doing at your job. People paying attention to what you're doing at your job. Now they talking about, let's make him a manager. 17, 18 years old, you going into a manager category, you bringing home, what I'm saying, $40,000, $50,000 a year. 18 years old, you still in high school. Make it make sense. Like, for real, for real. Stop playing with your kids. Stop being the reason why your children getting written up at work. Stop being the reasons. If we gonna be effective, we gonna make it make sense. We gonna make them be productive. We gonna educate them. We gonna love on them. At least I know I am at making make sense with Auntie and our youth and young adult mentoring service. We definitely are going to do that. But I see now we done talked and talked and talked. So next week y'all join us because we are going to address those issues. Make sure that y'all do stay tuned tonight. For the lineup, of course, y'all know y'all have to stay tuned for Mr. Zoe at Speak That Shit at 7 o'clock from 7 to 9, and then you catch Mr. DC and Mr. King over on You Guys Are the Worst at 9. And then if you wait until 11 o'clock tonight, there is a new show introduced. Listen, I don't want to mess up what it's called. Stand Up for News, and it is a comedian show, a show with comics that will be discussing the news, and that would start tonight at 11 p.m. on BFAM 109.6. So y'all make sure that y'all stay tuned for the Thursday's lineup. Y'all done started it off, so you might as well finish it. And finish it tonight with you know what I'm saying? Finish it tonight at 11 o'clock over here. I know I'm gonna try to stay up for that because I'm trying to prepare my body since I done start working these night shows. So I'm gonna be up tonight to watch Stand Up for the News, and I'm gonna see some comedians take on it because I like comedy. I do. I like comedy. I like to go to comedy shows. So we gonna see what that's about tonight. So see. I'm finna say, make sure y'all tune in for Speak That Shit. Well, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with my words tonight. But make sure y'all stay tuned for Speak That Shit at 7 p.m. Before we leave here, Smooth, what you got going on, Mr. Showat?
Well, before we get off of here, I want to send a shout out to Larissa Shields for winning that match the other night. I think Remy gonna have a goal, which she ever get in the ring. That would make sense. Also, I want to say, rest in peace to One Eye Earth Gotti, Murder Inc. If y'all don't know, some of y'all youngsters don't know, you know, we'd like to send our condolences out to him as well. Like I said, I'm be doing the music thing. Um, y'all know I got a lot of things going on. Like I say, y'all don't forget about that Producers Boot Camp 101 coming to a city near y'all, as well as we got Valentine's Day next week. Don't forget to get at us, man. I'm telling y'all, that significant other want that gift, and we can make it happen for you. So hit us up, as well as we got Easter coming up, and we got them kids. I got two on graduating this year, so boy, it's gonna be hectic, boy. So y'all get us there for all y'all graduation, party favors, celebration. Just at us. If you can't reach me, what I'm saying, y'all know how to reach Auntie. Get at us. She'll get up with me. You know, I'm Smooth Transitions Media Group. We doing our things. Y'all lay around for some of those new singles that we're finna drop, as well as getting them with a lot of other artists to put out She Shared Records.
All right, y'all. Well, I really, really, truly appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. I will say this, that we reached 190 to over 192,000 listeners last week. So I truly, truly appreciate that. And I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. Make sure y'all stay tuned in for the follow-up. Make sure y'all join me next Thursday, 5 p.m. I am Auntie with Make It Make Sense with Auntie. And if you would like to be a part of the show, contact me. If you would like to make a donation or a contribution, you can always send a cash app at money sign, and that is AUNTI 79. Again, that's Auntie 79. You can go ahead and send the money over that way if you would like to make a donation. If you would like to donate supplies, you can contact me over at Make It Make Sense with Auntie or Lemons Make It Make Sense at gmail.com to be a part of the show. Again, I am so excited about everybody. This year in 2025, I have some interviews set up for this next month, for the month of March. We are still looking for guests. If you would like to be a part of the show this month, the next couple of weeks, if you would like to be a part, reach out to me, reach out to Show Out, let me know, reach out to DC. Miss K, she'll get here when she can, but if she can't make it, she will reach out to me and let me know what's going on with her. We always pray for her that she'll be able to be a part of the show. Sometimes they always put on Thursdays. Also, Big Show had told us that they're sending the shout, let her know she's still around. She just been working. She has some stuff going on. Same thing with Miss Rena. We are very, very appreciative, like I said, for everybody that tunes in. If you missed the show just tuning in, you can go over to the YouTube page and make sure that you subscribe. And that's at the AUNTI_MIMS, Auntie Mims. Go over to YouTube, make sure that you subscribe so that you'll get all of the messages and all the links when we are starting the new shows. Go and join the page, Make It Make Sense with Auntie. And then you can find me at AUNTIKRIS across all the social media boards. Auntie Chris. I am Auntie, and I will see y'all next week. And with that being said, if you would like to order at one of our Make It Make Sense shirts, you can go ahead and order those. We do have those available now. I don't know if it's across the board. Make It Make Sense with Auntie. I did tell you the lemons make it make sense. LEMONSMAKEITMAKESENSE at gmail.com. Lemons make it make sense. Or you can go to make it make sense with auntie.com. Either way, you're going to contact me. You're going to reach me. I got some stuff coming up for y'all. And I'm super, super excited about it. If you have a building, an event space, and you want Auntie to come out there and do something with your youth, or you have a youth group, I am looking for a youth group to come out there and share this information with. We have a bunch of different programs that we do have that are available to different youth groups. We have different party packages that are available. So we will see you next Thursday at 5 p.m. Make sure you stay tuned for you guys. Stay tuned for Speak That Shit. You guys are the worst. And what's the new one? And the new one, Stand Up for News.